Central Group. The Blues home opener is expected to bring in a lot of fans tonight, and the weather will be perfect for it.
A nice afternoon with sunshine and a high of 74. Tonight, mainly clear and quite cool again. Lows ranging from 42 in the coldest suburbs to 51 downtown at the Arch. For tomorrow, times of sun and clouds. There may be an afternoon shower in spots, the high 75. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Plenty of sunshine out there right now. 68 degrees downtown at 12:04. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. Now the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
That's right. The Gashouse Gang is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Bernie Miklas, Chris Ranji today until 1. We will talk to Cam Jansen, formerly of the Blues. Big hockey guy. We're going to talk to him at 12:30 as we are getting ready, Bernie, for Blues season, which starts tonight at home. So we'll talk that. We'll talk playoffs. Cardinals out of the postseason, obviously. And the baseball playoffs continue. And, of course, we've got the Mizzou Alabama game coming up Saturday. The Fighting Illini hosting Ohio State. That is Saturday. Two very big college football games within proximity of us. But let's start with the Blues, Bernie, because there are a lot of people around the league who think the Blues will end up being pretty good. I haven't seen anybody pick them to win the Central Division, so that doesn't, at least in the minds of a lot of hockey experts, does not seem to be the likelihood. But there are a lot of people around the league who think the Blues could end up being really good, if not surprisingly good this season.
Well, I don't think they'll win the Central Division, but that doesn't matter because the Central Division is just loaded with powerhouse teams. So you could finish third or fourth in the Central Division and still be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Here's all that I know. Here's all I know. I know a few things about the Blues. After they fired Drew Bannister and Jim Montgomery took over on November the 25th, the Blues had the seventh best record in the NHL from that point to the end of the regular season. They were also the number one 5-on-5 team in the NHL when Montgomery took over. They scored 59% of the goals at 5-on-5. That is a ridiculous margin. And the other thing is that if Montgomery had been behind the bench as their coach the whole season, based on how they did when he was their coach, the Blues would have had a 105-point season. So when he became their leader, they were on a 105-point pace for the rest of the season. The other thing is he never had a training camp. I mean, they had that break for the one tournament in the middle of the season. He had a mini camp. But now you got the same coach who clearly knows how to bring out the best in this team. It has more talent than it did last year. And you have a coach who's really, really smart, knows exactly what to do with this team. And they had a full training camp, which is a huge benefit. They did not have, obviously, last year, yet they played great when he became their coach.
Yeah, and last season, the Blues make it into the postseason in large part because of that 12-game winning streak. And those wins, clearly, I mean, they count, right? You cannot discount going on a 12-game win streak, but it is also sort of an unusual thing to do, to win that many games in a row or have to win that many games in a row in order to be a playoff team. Does that change the way you look at them at all? Because I have seen a lot of people who have said that, you know, they were an average team that happened to go on this run, which is why they get in. Are they better than that? Should those wins count for more? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this do we take away from the fact that they had to win 12 in a row to get in the playoffs?
I don't take away anything. I mean, your record is what your record is. Right. I don't care how the wins are distributed or collected. And they went, and I also point this out. They went on that run after Jim Montgomery was able to have a mini camp within the season, where he had to actually teach a lot of things about his system. So he took them to class during that time off, and they responded beautifully. So no, I mean, I think they're really, really good. I think they're better than they were last year from a personnel standpoint, and they made the team better without since last year, with only giving up one guy that could be a difference maker to them had he stayed, which is Zachary Balduke. But they got the Logan Malino, I think that's how his name, on terrible names, that young defenseman from Montreal, who by all accounts is going to be pretty darn good in this league. So Balduke, it sounds crazy, but he was expendable. So Armstrong's done an incredible job of like reworking this roster over the last 2 seasons, and he's such a great team builder, and I think one of the great general managers in St. Louis sports history. When we look at each team, he would be on that list of top 10 without any question.
A lot of Blues success over his tenure. I don't think there's any question about that. You know, we are wondering how it's going to play out for certain players. And again, going back to the preseason projections, you know, it seems a lot of analysts around the league think that Ivan Demidov is probably going to be the rookie of the year this year. But there are some who think Jimmy Snuggerud might end up being that guy. And there is a lot of excitement around him and getting a full season with the Blues.
You know, if some of the other leading candidates for rookie of the year, if enough of those guys stumble, 2 or 3 guys, let's say, stumble a little bit, not as good as expected, and Snuggerud, who I think a lot of people expect will be pretty good, but if he plays even better than that, then I think he could steal that award. And he was really impressive, I thought, coming up with virtually no NHL experience. And I thought he competed very well in the first round playoff series against Winnipeg. He didn't look overwhelmed. He didn't look out of place. He didn't look like a rookie. He's got a hockey savvy about him, and he's kind of a cold-blooded guy when it comes to getting in front of the net or driving to the net, however you want to put it. Like there's no scare in this guy whatsoever. He's very, very poised. I can't wait to see him in a full season. This will be fun.
Yep, full season for him, full season for Jim Montgomery, including training camp. And I do think this looks to be an improved Blues season from last year. I don't think we're going to be late in the year questioning whether or not they're going to make it to the playoffs. I think at least, Bernie, this is a playoff team. And then what they do from there, I don't know, because it's really difficult to know that. And I think we'll know more about what they are 2-3 months into the season. Maybe by the time we get to December, I think we'll have a much clearer idea. Although the thing about the Blues seems to be that you do not write them off in any way in December. You make sure you wait until February or March before you get a good idea of what they are, because they have a way of surprising late.
And one of the most important things Doug Armstrong has done, I think we all agree, or a large percentage of us agree with, for a couple years, not this year, but the last couple years, 2.5, 3 years, the group of defensemen they had as a group was pretty mediocre and not very good. There were some individuals who played well, but as a group, it was pretty sorry. Well, he's completely rebuilt, just about completely rebuilt that defensive group over the last year or so, or a little more than a year. And this is a really good group now. I mean, this group is, you use 2019 as the benchmark. So I'm not going to say it's as good as that group, but I'm telling you, based on what they've been putting out there in recent seasons, this is a really nice group of defensemen. And he's, again, Doug Armstrong, when he sets his mind to getting something done, he finds a way to get it done. And he did it with this instance too, because I don't think we're going to be belly aching about the Blues defensemen this year. Not much.
No, Blue season starts tonight against the Minnesota Wild. We are going to talk to Cam Jansen just after 12:30. We'll get his take on the upcoming season. Also, he's got a barbecue sauce. So yeah, the bare knuckle barbecue. We'll talk to him about that, and we'll get his thoughts on what he believes the Blues are going to look like in 2025-26. Bernie Miklasz is with me, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. He is on the show every Thursday. He's all over KMOX, and it's been great to have you back for the last several months now, Bernie. What are we going? It's over a year now, isn't it?
It's coming up on a year.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I remember, and you remember this, I'm doing shows together in studio around the holidays. So, if it's not a year, it's coming up on a year.
It is coming up on a year. And so we will talk that. We're going to talk baseball playoffs. We will do the best we can to get to Mizzou and Illinois. Both have really big football games on Saturday. So a lot of fun happening with the NHL season underway. Blue season starts tonight. And because hockey is happening now, and with professional and college football going on, and basketball about to start up as well, you need to know that FanDuel is America's #1 sports book, and it's coming to Missouri December 1st. Finally, you will be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. It's such a great time of year for this to be happening. And with FanDuel, tons of ways to get in on the action, like betting individual games or pick a prop that you like for that game, a player you like. Maybe the most assists or goals or whatever it is. And if you want to look to the future, coach of the year, MVP, championship winner, you can do that as well with FanDuel. And if you like live betting, would certainly encourage you to give it a try. It is a lot of fun to be watching a game and pick who's going to score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. And you can do that with FanDuel. Very, very simple app that you can use, and it is live in Missouri in December. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri now to download the app and get yourself familiar with it so that you're ready to go by December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/try. QUO.com/try.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
1120 AM, 1041 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
So you might think that was from a hockey game because you heard the goal horn sound. Technically kind of true. Last night at the Toronto Maple Leafs home opener, they played a game. And when the game ended, they put on the video screen on the scoreboard, they put the rest of the Blue Jays-Yankees game on as the Blue Jays clinched the ALDS against the Yankees and have eliminated the New York Yankees. They move on to the ALCS. And so for 45 minutes, people stuck around and watched the Blue Jays beat the Yankees on the screen after the Maple Leafs game was over. That was a really cool moment, Bernie, as the the baseball playoffs have continued and the Yankees are out again. 94-win team has been eliminated. You've got the Phillies on the National League side who won to stay alive last night. They beat the Dodgers. They'll play again today. But they have won 96 games and are on the verge of potentially being eliminated. If they lose tonight, they are out. But it's not unusual for this to happen in baseball, Bernie. It does happen quite a bit where you've got these teams that win 96, 97, 100 games, and they lose fairly quickly in the postseason.
Or a lot of the big spending teams lose really early in the postseason. And I added this up a long time ago. I don't have the numbers in front of me, obviously, but the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009. And if you think about it, they've played in as many World Series since then as since 2008. They've been in the same numbers World Series as the Tampa Bay Rays, which tells you a lot about how the Yankees handle their money. Because the Yankees can buy any player they want, get any player they want. There are no limitations to anything. And there's a long list of teams that have been in multiple World Series since the last time the Yankees won a World Series. And it doesn't matter how much they spend. We're talking literally since 2009. We're talking billions and billions and billions of dollars on player salaries, and it just shows you money can't buy you everything. Although I think fans in some smaller markets get frustrated, including this one, because they think ownership should spend more money. And by the way, there's a case to be made for that. I'm not saying that's wrong, but there's this assumption with more money, everything will be fine. No, Look at the Yankees. Nope. Doesn't work that way.
No, I mean, there is a very real possibility that after today, the only top 5 payroll team that'll be left will be the Dodgers. That's it, because the Cubs are number 5. They could very well be out today. The Phillies could very well be out. So, I mean, this is, and I agree, it's not about the money spent. It is about how well you spend it. But being capable of spending more money clearly does help you win, because you also look at the teams that made it to the postseason, and all of them except for the Mets. We're talking the top 7 teams in payroll, everybody except for the Mets got into the playoffs this year. So 6 of the 7 top payroll teams were in.
I think everybody knows it. Yeah, it's great to have a higher payroll. It can only help you, really. But you said it right. You also have to spend it. But the thing that kind of I think is funny is that we don't talk a lot about. We talk about all the high payroll teams that make it in. We don't really give enough attention to high payroll teams year to year who don't make it in. And I think there are 2 lessons here. It's like, in other words, there's no one size fits all theory on this. You do have an advantage if you're a big payroll team. There's a lot of big payroll teams, however, that just continue to go belly up, and maybe it's easier for them to get to where they want to go than a small market team. But a lot of these teams, including the Cubs, by the way, have just absolutely flopped no matter what they spend or where they rank. They're another great example. What are they doing? They trade a great prospect. They get Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's going to walk at the end of the year. The Cubs could be eliminated the next game. So what exactly do they have to show for all this stuff? All that huffing and puffing up in Chicago about their payroll size and Kyle Tucker. And Kyle Tucker's going to walk, and then what? That's why I absolutely refuse to be an addict when it comes to like big payroll stuff, where I'm just like, you got to have one. Well, you don't have to. It helps you. But we see a lot of the big payroll teams absolutely screw it up too.
Cubs are 5th in payroll this season. One of the things they did, which is frustrating, I think, to any fan base, and Cardinals fans have been frustrated in the past, feeling like the team didn't do enough at the deadline. Because you had a good team and you think, well, you need this piece or you need that, and they weren't able to. A lot of times they did come through, though. I mean, Cardinals, there's been a mixed bag when it comes to that. They have had seasons where they do come through at the deadline or, during an off season. But then there are times where they don't, and you want a little bit more and they don't get it. And in the Cubs case, they very clearly needed a legitimate starter and they didn't go get one. Look what's happened to their pitching in this series. They're getting killed. So what you do at the deadline doesn't always guarantee anything, but it does give you a much better opportunity once you get to the playoffs. And that's why being aggressive at the deadline is what fans want to see.
Right. And that's the other thing, and Tom Ricketts, the chairman of the Cubs, he gave Jed Hoyer a contract extension late this season, and a lot of Cubs fans were, displeased. And you say, well, he's pretty good. He's not great, and his hands are tied to an extent. I think that's by and large true. But here's a very simple stat for everybody. It's nothing fancy. Cubs won the World Series in 2016, and this was supposed to be the dawn of the Cubs era, where they would dominate baseball and all this stuff. Starting in 2017, the year after they won the World Series, the Cardinals and the Cubs have the exact same winning percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what?
Right.
Yet here in St. Louis, this is considered a baseball hellscape. All hope is lost. Aliens are going to, invade Busch Stadium and take it over because the Cardinals are dead. And no, actually, they have the same winning percentage as the Cubs.
Well,
the team was supposed to dominate baseball.
I'll tell you what it is. I mean, people here are not quite as used to hell. They're not quite as used to baseball hell. The baseball hell has been more of a, I don't even know if I'd call it that, but it's a recent development that it hasn't been particularly good for them up north. They have dealt with that for a long time. So they've seen it. It's part of their DNA. It's in the fabric up there. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, 17th highest payroll in the game, and they look like the best team that's left. And I thought the Phillies might win the whole thing. Obviously, the Dodgers are incredible. I don't know why I keep forgetting about them. But the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays look really, really tough. And here's Milwaukee right there with all of them.
And I was disappointed last night watching that game because, Milwaukee, this actually tells you how good they are. I thought Milwaukee played a pretty lousy game by their standards. There were base running mistakes. They were leaving too many runners on. I mean, their timely hitting and their situational hitting wasn't real sharp. And, they still ended up, scaring the bejesus out of Cubs fans. And if they had played their usual game, they would have won that game. But they're really, really good. They're the model for any mid-market team. They have written a book on how you can overcome a payroll disparity because they've been doing it now since 2018. And that's why I hope they win, because I think I doubt that it will open anybody's eyes. It's just the way it works. But they can prove a point about, it'd be great if our owner gave us a $200 million payroll, but we're going to draft smarter than everyone. We're going to develop better than everyone. Our minor league system is going to be better than anyone. Our analytics department is going to be better than anybody else's. And it's funny how you can close that payroll gap if you're smart.
Cole Bassett's left foot watching us on YouTube. You can do the same. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, at KMOX Sports. And Cole says, Cubs fans live in baseball purgatory. Rockies fans live in baseball hell.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that is very true. I think White Sox fans live in a little baseball hell too. Yeah. We've got Cam Jansen coming up. He's going to preview the Blues season with us. Also got a barbecue sauce out. We'll talk to him about both of those things. But Bernie, as we hit the break, go ahead and tell everybody about our friends at Saliga.
You got it. Saliga Heating and Cooling is a Daikin comfort dealer. They've been taking care of the Miklas family for the last 17 years. And I always joke, we were kind of late to all that. Well, we weren't around in 1927, but that's how long Saliga family has been taking care of other St. Louis families, all the way back to 1927 continuously. Dan Saliga is fourth owner, operator of the family business. has done a great job of maintaining those high family standards for this business. And that Saliga name is one you can trust. And I can vouch for that. I can testify to that. 17 years of doing business with them, and we know them to be 100% when we talk about honesty, 100% when we talk about prompt service. When they say they're going to be at your home between a certain hours, they're there. I can vouch 100% for their professionalism, their knowledge of what they're doing. What we love about them, we love many things about Saliga Heating and Cooling, but it's the idea that when, if you don't know who you're calling and what their rep is, you're it's a little nervous when you think, something with our heating and cooling's broke. Is this going to be expensive? And listen, I hate to say this, but in America at large, there's going to be businesses that will take advantage of people that don't know anything about heating and cooling. Saliga's not that. And my neighbors say the same thing. Acquaintances of mine say the same thing. When Saliga comes to your home to provide the help you need, where you're kind of nervous and uptight, what's wrong? Is it going to be expensive? They always start with us by telling us the least expensive solutions that can handle it, rather than going for the jugular and trying to talk us into something big. They just have impeccable integrity, and that's the biggest aspect of why we love them so much. One other thing before I be quiet here about Saliga Heating and Cooling. Take advantage of the Priority Club. It's a maintenance plan that will save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. It has saved us money for many years. And on top of that, we love knowing that our home is safe and comfortable and ready for all seasons because of the Priority Club maintenance checks. So more info on all this stuff. Go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. You'll see the phone number there, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
Never predictable, always entertaining. Dave Glover, now celebrating 25 years.
Hey, Dave, Skip Weber, Weber Chevrolet. Boy, 25 years. I cannot believe it seems like just yesterday. So glad and proud to be a part of the show, and so glad and proud to be able to call myself your friend. Congratulations, Dave. You definitely deserve it. And here is to the next 25 years of the DGS.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 p.m. on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sponsored by BioBalance Health and BioBalance Skin.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Oh, baby, this is what I'm talking about. It's nice out there. 70 degrees, mostly sunny in St. Louis. We're going to get a high today of 75. The weather brought to you by S&L Coins.
S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist with Timberline Professional Tree Care. In my nearly 30 years in the industry, I've seen firsthand what damage falling trees can do to your property. The sad thing is that most trees that fail have defects that can be identified by a well-trained certified arborist. At Timberline, we have 7 ISA certified arborists, 3 of which have gone through extensive training and testing to become tree risk assessment qualified. Our track certified arborists can perform a thorough assessment of your tree and provide mitigation options for your peace of mind. If there's nothing wrong with your tree, we will let you know that it poses a low risk of failure. If it needs to be removed, we'll tell you in a detailed written report. It's all about honesty and integrity here at Timberline Professional Tree Care. So call us today to get a tree risk assessment scheduled, 636-479-7475, or contact us through our website at stltreecare.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I
KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
We're getting ready for Blues hockey tonight, start of the 2025-26 season. It is Bernie Miklasz, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. Also, Chris Ranji on the Gashouse Gang until 1 o'clock today. So as we get ready for Blues season tonight, we thought it'd be nice to bring in our guy, Cam Jansen, host of the Cam and Strick podcast. And Cam is with us now on 104.1 FM KMOX. Cam, welcome to the Gashouse.
Well, I look at it like they have a lot of young guys that need to prove themselves still. You know, I would say my biggest question mark, well, some of the question marks throughout this roster is Jimmy Snuggerud. Can he stay on that top line throughout an 82-course season? You know, he looked great in preseason. He was great. But he was pretty good in the playoffs last year. And so we haven't seen enough of him, and he's penciled in on that top line with Buchnevich and Robert Thomas, who's thinking about the Olympics too. So there's a lot going on. I would say he's one of the question marks. Not that I'm not thinking he's going to be able to do this, but I would say that's one of them. You know, guys like Logan Mailloux coming in, a big kid, 6'4", right-handed defenseman. You saw that Zachary Bolduc last night playing against the Leafs scored a goal. Is Logan ready to step up and get some minutes with Tyler Tucker on that third pairing? So there's some question marks, but this Blues team, they always say they want to be 5% better. What were they, 95 points last year? You get into the 100 range here. I think that's possible. I know Blues fans are very excited about this young team, and you know, we'll see what happens tonight with the I guess the highest paid superstar in the NHL. We'll see what happens.
Cam, first of all, it's great to talk to you again, man. Second of all, can you ship about 3 cases of that barbecue sauce over to my house here? So
oh, yeah.
I'm going to be hooking everybody up with that. I'm going to be hooking everybody up with that. So you got
Cam's
man.
Fists of Fire. That's the name of it. The bare knuckle barbecue.
Man, I know it's going to be great because I know that this man not only loves barbecue but knows barbecue. So, in fact, I'm going to hook up an IV. I'm going to just going to run it through my veins anyway.
That's the healthiest way to do it.
Days, just so you know.
Hey, no, it's awesome. I can't. Good luck with that. We'll get the word out too. Hey, I want to ask you something. After Monty took over last season, it was November the 25th, his first game. Yeah, no training camp, no nothing. The rest of the way, the Blues, you know, they were on a 105-point pace, but also something that had been missing, you know, really strong 5-on-5 play. The Blues were basically the best 5-on-5 team in the NHL. They scored like 59% of the goals. That's crazy. What is it about him where he could take a group of men that have been struggling in some areas and just immediately making them better, even in an area where they were pretty sorry?
Communication. I watch how he reacts to everybody. Listen, I travel with the guys, Curbs and I did a lot of games on the road. And when you're on the road, as you know, Bernie, like it's intimate. You see how Monty reacts with the guys on the plane after games. You're right there in the hotel lobby when we do different things when we're stuck in Minnesota because of an ice storm. Like you just see how he reacts. When you go to a rink in the middle of Minnesota and you can hear every word he says on the ice when he's communicating with the D and the forwards. And you're like, as a player, I'm listening to him and we're looking at each other like, yeah, I get what he's saying. Oh, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, if I was a young player and he's telling me exactly what he's telling some of these guys, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I would understand that. I would feel somewhat comfortable. You never want to be too comfortable, but you're like, yeah, no, I get you. I get your motivation. When he needs to put his foot down and kick somebody in the butt, he's going to do that as well. But he's got the players' backs. He's great at communication. He's a very smart man. He's been here before. He knows a lot of these guys before when he was an assistant coach. So he's got a lot of stuff going for him. He's a winner. He's been through a lot with Dallas. He came to Boston, had, broke records in the regular season. Things fell apart in the playoffs. He learned from it. Now he's back in St. Louis. He's just got a lot of things going. But the main thing I look at is his communication. Like I went through so many different coaches. Some coaches would walk right past me in the dressing room and not even look at you. And I'd be like, oh, God, like, what did I do? Now my brain's going. And then once you overthink things, you're not going to get the puck out of the zone because you're thinking of other stuff. So little things like that. But the main thing is he's smart. He knows the X's and O's, but he's great at communication with the older guys and the younger guys.
So how much of an effect, a positive effect? It's probably tough to quantify it, but to be able to be there now from the very beginning of the season, training camp, all the way through, as opposed to popping in the middle of the year.
Could you imagine popping in the middle of the year last year? I think we were in Calgary. I remember him coming in, and then you're in Calgary. Okay, here's the team. Go practice. Now you got to introduce yourself to everybody again. There's a lot of guys that don't know you. They don't know your style. They don't know your system. And you have to just throw all this information and video and meetings and all that stuff, which drives people crazy. Not to mention the schedule is so bad. We're on these 10-day road trips. 4 Nations was happening. So everything was condensed. So he's trying to implement all this information and guys. And listen, when you're a player, your brain can only take so much. Okay. You can only take so much. You can only take so many meetings and this and that and X's and O's. And when you have to completely do a different system and implement that in the middle of the season, when you're in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Seattle, and then you go down to Arizona or you go down to Colorado and you come back or whatever the case is, it's a lot. So for you to be able to have a whole summer, for him to be able to have a whole summer, regroup, know who you have coming in, the majority of the guys, and you set this whole system up. You had a long training camp. This is very beneficial for the organization and Jim Montgomery and the players. When you get thrown in the mix like that, it's not easy. You have no time. It's just go, react and go. And you try to throw as much information as possible at these guys. A lot of times, it's a little too much to handle. So it's a very difficult situation. It finally kind of came to fruition at the end of the season, and you saw what happened. So for him to have a lot of time with these guys, it's going to really be beneficial.
Cam Jansen with us here on the Gashouse Gang, KMO expert, Chris Ranji. Who do you like if you take an overview of the league? Who do you like? Who do you think the best team in the Western Conference is? Who do you think the best team going in, best team in the Eastern Conference? If you had to put $2 down on who's going to win the Stanley Cup, what would you say? What would you do?
Ooh, baby. I mean, Colorado's are going to be no joke. They're just going to be good. They just are. They got superstars on that team that could take over. They're always worrisome with me. Does Winnipeg scare me? Not really. They just don't. You know what? They didn't scare me last year. They didn't even scare me in the first round last year when we had, they're the President's Trophy. They just didn't do enough for me. Connor Hellebuyck, sometimes in big situations, he doesn't show up. That's going to be an issue with Bill Guerin and Team USA moving forward, too. He's really going to be evaluating Connor Hellebuyck. So Winnipeg, I don't know what to think of them. Edmonton is a different story. They've been there. Are they tired? They're rejuvenated with the contract with Connor McDavid. That pumps a lot of energy to everybody in that locker room's soul when the big dog takes less money to put themselves in a better situation to win. That's going to motivate them for sure. LA Kings, Vegas, Bernie, that's a tough question, man. You just don't know. Don't forget Dallas too. But the Blues are in a good situation. They're deep. They got youth. They got legs. That third pairing with Tyler Tucker and Logan Mailloux, I'm really excited about that. Those are two tough guys. If I'm an opposing player and I see Tyler Tucker and Logan Mayu on their third pairing, and they're physical and they're actually mobile enough to get the puck out of the zone. Tyler Tucker is he improved more in the last 3 years than anybody on this Blues organization. 3 years ago, I'm like, ooh, boy, he's rough around the edges. He must have went to a skating coach because he's light on his feet. He spins off of guys. He makes plays. He's got a quick shot in the offensive zone where he gets it off quick. He keeps pucks alive, and he'll put you down with a hit. And that's scary enough as an opposing forward. So the Blues are in a good spot. That's a tough question to answer. I know I'm all over the place with it. The bottom line is they should beat Minnesota tonight.
Well, what about what about the entire league? Because pretty much everybody's picking Tampa to win it. So are you picking them too?
You guys with these questions right off the bat. Are you kidding me?
We want you to think.
I get you. No, hey, don't. No one ever talks about Carolina. They're right there. No one ever talks about them. I know they've been through some weird stuff. I'd throw them in the mix as well. Washington, I don't know, with Ovi. The Ovi thing last year, he was so pumped up. He wanted to break their record. The guys probably had a little extra pulse in their bodies moving forward with some of these games and the grind of things. Listen, I'm not counting out Florida again, just so you know. I'm not doing that. Barkey's hurt. Matthew Tkachuk's hurt. They're deep enough to where they're going to squeak in, and then they're going to get these guys back, and it's going to be a problem out east for everybody.
Hey, Cam, here's one for you. On this Blues roster now, give us your best candidate to be a pleasant surprise this year. Maybe do more than we assume going in.
Logan Mayu. I think he's going to be
trade?
pretty. Yeah, Bolduc scored there, and I love Zachary Bolduc. Hanging with him on the road, seeing how he interacts with people, he is a lovely human being, and he was tough, and he reverse hit guys. And Monty talked. You could just tell that he was a great teammate, and he had skill, and he had a lot of potential where he could score 30 goals. I get that. But this Logan cat, I'm just telling you, I know he went through some stuff. I get all that. I think that he's going to be dominant. I think he's going to be a big, tough defenseman that will fight, that has a great shot, that's very mobile in the offensive zone, that has a lot of skill. I think he's going to take over, and he's really going to surprise everybody. And I know people know that he's a big guy and stuff like that. I get all that. But I think that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with because of his size. He's a D-man. He's going to be logging a lot of minutes eventually. If he really steps up and does his thing like I think he can do, that's the guy that's going to take it to the next level.
We've talked a lot about the Blues, but we haven't really talked much about goaltending. And Jordan Binnington's been here almost a decade now. And it's wild to think about that because it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it has been a long time he's been here. So what is he compared to, in your mind, compared to the rest of the goaltending in the league at this point in his career?
Well, why don't you ask Team Canada?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask Team Canada who their big dog is? Who do you think they're going to pick this year? Now, it's up to Jordan to do his thing. If he does his thing, he's going to be their number one goalie. I mean, that tells you everything. Now, I think their system, what they're going to try to do with these two guys, with Joe Hofer, who's solid as well, I think they're going to give Joe Hofer a lot more games at the beginning part of this. You know, maybe through Christmas, things are going to start tightening up. You want to give Jordan Binnington some more rest than usual, I would say, because of the condensed schedule. It's tough on goalies. Like every other night you're playing, like it's tough on you. It really is. The Blues are going to do a better job, I'm sure, of clearing the front of the net. A couple of years ago, it was god awful. They just have traffic in front of Jordan Binnington, and he got lit up pretty good. Last year was a different story, especially the second half. So I think there's going to be a little bit more time management with Joe Hofer and Jordan Binnington, which is good because you have two solid goalies. Use it. You got two great goalies. Now, you lost Colton Ellis to Buffalo. They're going to have to keep him up in the NHL roster. So they kind of had a little risk because he hasn't played in the NHL too. So they just signed another kid. Forgot his name. Not going to lie to you. We'll see what he's all about coming through as some more depth with the goalie position. But you got two solid goalies. You got one of the best goalies in the league. You got Mr. Team Canada, by the way, just so everybody knows, and they should know that. That shows you everything and tells you everything you need to know about how important he is to obviously the country that started this whole thing. So, yeah, we got to take advantage of that. And if he's getting a little tired, then you put Joe Hofer in. So I think the time management is going to be important for Montgomery to figure out the first half of the season for sure.
Bare knuckle barbecue sauce. Get Cam's Fists of
baby.
Fire. You can get it at twomenandagarden.com. Cam's got a barbecue sauce. Reed Lowe, Jamie Rivers, my guy, Tony Twist, Jim Campbell. So it's cool. twomenandagarden.com. Go get that barbecue sauce.
Appreciate that.
You can put it on the pancakes too. It's so good.
Pancakes,
you put it on
whatever you
anything,
want.
Yeah.
I just drink it straight.
Cam Jansen, you're awesome.
Hey, I know it's good, but if you're going to drink it, man, I'd have to put a shot of something else in there too. But yeah, your point's well taken.
And take a Prilosec afterwards because you might get heartburn.
Thank you, Cam. Enjoy tonight.
All right, guys. All right, dudes. We'll see you tonight. Later.
Cam Jansen with us, Cam and Strick podcast, former Blue. He's awesome, dude. All right, get that bare knuckle barbecue sauce, twomenandagarden.com. I also want to tell you before we get to the break about FanDuel, which is America's #1 sports book. It's coming to Missouri and soon, December 1st. Finally, you can bet on all your favorite teams, all your favorite sports, including hockey, basketball, pro and college football will all be happening in December, and all sorts of ways to get in on the action with FanDuel, betting the money line, team totals, bet the spread, bet futures. Who do you think is going to win the championship, Stanley Cup? You can bet on that too. And you can live bet with FanDuel. Which player is going to score the next goal or the one after that. With FanDuel, you can download the app now and get familiar with it because, again, less than 2 months away from it being live in Missouri. FanDuel.com/Missouri to download the app today. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Dave, this is Susan L. Ward, and my law firm and I want to wish you congratulations on your 25 years with the show. I am really, really glad that you left family law practice to me, and here's to 25 more for you on radio.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist, clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
KMOX proudly supports the Mutual Awards, returning to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 22nd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event, hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Mutual Awards an event like no other. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right, weight loss seminar at the Marriott St. Louis West in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now back to the Gas House Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Yeah, baseball season is still happening. Postseason going on. Not for the Yankees anymore. They've been beaten. And the Toronto Blue Jays last night on Fox during the post-game show. Vlad Jr. got egged on a little bit by our guy David Ortiz.
Dale, the Yankee lose. The Yankee lose.
Oh my gosh, they're mocking John Sterling and his famous Yankees call. That's not nice.
And plus Derek Jeter's sitting right there, right?
Jeter was right. Jeter and A-Rod both sitting right there, which was really, really funny. Last thing, Bernie, before we get out of here, we got about a minute to go. A report out of Puerto Rico, El Vocero, talking about Yadier Molina, and apparently has been in conversations with the Cardinals about being a full-time coach, though nothing has happened yet. If it does come to pass that happens, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's going to happen as long as, Yadier's got some, family things going on. Like his son's apparently going to be a really good baseball prospect. And I don't know how Yadi would feel about being here full time, but I think he's getting ready for it. So I would expect it to happen, but I can't say that for sure, obviously. But listen, I reported after the 2022 season, like days after it ended, where Molina went off to retirement. Both Albert and Yadier Molina went in to talk to Ali Marmol separately, and both said, "Hey, listen, we really like you a lot. We think you're going to be a heck of a manager. We want to help you out. And if you're looking for a coach, don't forget about me. I'd be really happy to work with you." And then Albert came in a couple days after that, said the same thing. So we know there's interest there. Yadier Molina, and I know Ali Marmol thinks the world of both those guys, but Ali Marmol wouldn't be inviting Molina to be a guest coach twice this season unless there was something going on. And I think it would be a wonderful thing. You know why? Because Yadier Molina might be the smartest baseball player ever. I'm serious. Yep. He might be. So that would be a great thing for the Cardinals. You talk about a great example, a great mentor as a coach for young players as they start a rebuild. It's good. It'd be good stuff.
And also, I think it says a lot about Yadi that he would even invite him into that dugout, considering the way people love Molina. And Ali's not stupid. He knows that Yadi will be in that dugout. Some Cardinals fans will say, oh, that should be our manager. So the fact he's got the confidence to do that, I think, says a lot about Oliver Marmol. Appreciate you as always, Bernie Miklasz. So we will do this again on Tuesday, but you've got Rush Hour Sports tomorrow. Is that correct, at 5 o'clock?
I do. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Bernie Miklasz will be on Rush Hour Sports tomorrow at 5 o'clock. This show, the Gas House Gang with Mike Claiborne, Matt Pauley, and Chris Ranji tomorrow at noon. Thank you for listening and being a part of the show. If you've missed anything, find it on the Odyssey app, the Gas House Gang, or wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you tomorrow. Gas House Gang on KMOX.